What's up, my chaotic crew? Bentley Michaels here to talk to you about some cool stuff up top. Remember to hit that subscribe button, give us some 5-star reviews, thumbs up, whatever it is. Help us overtake all of our D&D 5e play podcasts. Let us climb the charts, leave them in our dust. Now, Patreon, we've been talking about, that we're going to be, right now we have one thing that we've completely revised, which is the $1. The $1, you get exclusive access to our Talking Dead style wrap-up show called Unbriefing with Chaotic Amateurs. For $1, you also get a shout-out and your name on our Wall of Heroes on our website. But that's a really easy and kind of like a cool way for us to say thank you for subscribing for $1. So if you got an extra $1, you get a little bit extra of us. And then we're going to be retooling all the other rewards, making them more impactful, more bang for your buck. Everybody that is subscribed before will continue to get like their stuff as described. But check it on out. Patreon.com/Chaotic Amateurs.
In a vast landscape full of adventurers, you are now listening to the world of Chaotic Amateurs.
And welcome back to Chaotic Amateurs, iTunes' #1 D&D 5e play podcast. Yes, folks, it's all true. I am your host and DM for Season 2, Bentley Michaels. To my right, I have...
Caleb is Yumhorn Drill.
Rhett is Drox Dragonsbane.
Milo is Ren.
And last time, they had some bats in the belfry, ladies and gentlemen. And they figured out, Yuri... He got in with Ulagon. He's now the Padawan to Ren's master, and they made it to the church. Yamhorn didn't want to go in, and then he finally had to go in because 2 guys came after him, and everyone ended up in the bell tower. Yuri had just rung the bell tower. Ren is surveying the city, and Durok is out on the ledge, meditating like the Dark Knight. And, those guys are very slow. The adventure begins. So, one of the guys just slips on a ball bearing and kind of goes down a couple stairs. So the other guy turns around, grabs and tries to pull him back up.
You're welcome.
And Yuri then cut back up top. Yuri then looks over to you and says, "Anything?"
I don't see anything.
No. Wait. Do I hit it again, or?
So, Durok, I say to you...
You'll have to kind of walk over to him. It's a pretty big area.
So
he's out on like it goes out probably about 5-6 feet, so he's out on the edge.
So
you'll have to walk out there.
So a little halfling waddle over to you, kind of tap you on the shoulder. It's like, what are you doing, buddy? Nothing.
And
cool.
Yuri's starting to kind of like look over. He's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, it's not obvious because nobody could see it, but Durok is truly lost.
Rhett, as a player, had his eyes closed and his hands on his lap and had his head down. He was meditating for us here in the room. Had his hands on his sword. Very samurai.
Not that sword.
And Yamhorn, you know what? I'm going to roll for you.
No! Okay.
All right. Well, you got a 15, so you're just starting to come up the stairway. And so you see Yuri kind of like looking over, and you see.
Like I'm coming through that hatch?
Yeah, you're coming up. You're
okay.
all the way up. Sorry, you're coming out onto the landing of the belfry. My bad. And so Yuri kind of turns around. He's like, "Oh, hey, so you decided to come in?"
Guys, we got guards after us. Is there a way that we can barricade this hatch?
Well, there's a door. You could like shut it for one.
Let's do that. Yuri, until we figure out something else, sit on it.
I'll stand.
Or stand on it. That's
all
fine.
Right. Do you know the kind of people that were chasing you?
All I know is that they're guards.
All right.
Do you still hold any sway with them? Did you ever, actually?
I mean...
like, could you convince them to turn around, maybe?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, why would I just be up here with you guys? They would want me to help.
So they saw you run up here?
Yeah. Or actually, No. Well,
Do you
they
feel
probably
like they
saw me outside and I ran
recognize-
inside.
Do you feel like they recognized you?
Probably. Otherwise, I mean, who's
Yeah,
going
why
to
would
run
they
up
chase you?
240?
The master of disguise is used to being discovered.
Turtle.
Over there.
So what is like Yuri? What is your rank here?
No, I'm just kind of a guy. I'm
Me.
just kind of, like
He
I'm
was
big.
described as a royal guard before.
I mean, they all are.
Oh, okay. Wow, that really takes the panache out of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they are definitely like they're from Würzburg, and you don't mess with them because of how they're dressed. They're there to enforce. Any of the higher ranking, anybody who's out patrolling, they're just they're your privates in the army, that kind of thing. So all kind of grunts.
I'll just kind of give Yamhorn like a pat on the back. He's like, you need to get Durak awake because we could have some action. Give you guidance.
Easy. Got
Yuri
it.
will shut the door and stand on top of it.
I walk over to Durak and I slap him as hard as I possibly can in the face.
Well, his face is facing out west, so his back is to you as he's sitting down.
That's fine.
And you're now 250 feet above the ground out on a ledge. So you'd have to reach in front and like that, reach out in front and then bring your hand back towards you.
I'll rear naked choke him and drag him inside. So it's not like I'm trying to make him pass out. I'm just trying to control him and drag him.
You will have to roll for his weight. roll his strength versus
Wait.
Yeah. What would that? I mean, I wonder what that would be. His weight.
I'm only about 200 pounds. I
Yamhorn,
guess.
remember my guidance.
I would have assumed
yes.
dwarves were heavier, but I did roll on the chart in the handbook.
Oh,
so.
gotcha. Okay.
This isn't even gonna help. I'm not gonna waste it on that.
I mean, you don't look at me out there do it and think that what I'm doing is important.
I do, but we've got a pressing issue.
You can't handle it. It's 2 guards.
To answer the roll, it's a 7.
Okay. Those guys rolled a 4 and a 3, so now they both slipped on ball bearings, and they're kind
Yay.
of and they go down a couple,
Okay.
like a
As
flight
I'm-
of stairs, just on their butts. Ba, 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 ba.
I guess as I'm trying to pull him and failing, I say, Durak, we need you. Wake up.
Persuade him.
Does it? Yeah. If you can roll high enough.
I'm gonna give your passive or your regular perception a +2 right now. So roll against your passive perception +2 because you're in a trance.
I'm in a trance.
No, I'm at his.
Oh.
So whatever yours, if it's a 15, it's now a 17. Whatever it is.
Okay.
And I got an 18. And I can add more if I need to.
Oh my god. Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to help you out. I didn't think you
Yeah.
rolled
Well, I appreciated it, but this guy's a douche. So.
Okay.
I
So
always outroll you.
So he
So you start shaking me or whatever it is,
And you start to come
wake
to.
up, wake up, wake up.
and my eyes just dart open.
roll me an athletics real quick. The Duroc.
Okay. 9.
Okay. Oh boy. Well, he and you've got this arm around your throat, and you kind of come to, and you see how high you are above the sea. You see on each side. It's a fairly wide thing. It's probably about as wide as this table,
Still
which is probably
scary.
4.5,
I can
5
picture
feet. But also it's like,
A gust of wind,
oh yeah, you feel it. And when you come awake, you go like this, and Draken's Toter goes over to the side. And and he's got you in a rear naked choke or whatever it's called, and you're like, So that's where you're at.
Okay.
Now it's between you two. And hey, roll me a quick perception, Duroc.
9.
Then you don't realize yet that Draken's Toter is no longer on your lap.
God. Yumhorn. Yumhorn! Why are you always so yumhornish?
Why were you just holding it in your lap?
Ren didn't tell you what I'm doing out here.
Ren didn't tell you I'm samurai.
Because I didn't make it up the stairs until after you were.
All right. Because I mean, I'm not going to mention Dragon's Toter just fell.
There's something pressing that needs my attention.
We've got guards coming after us, and we have no escape. We're 240, 250 feet up, we need to prepare for these guards because
Duroc, roll me another perception.
I laid down some ball bearings, but they're on their way.
7.
You're still pissed at Yamhorn, and they just rolled a 2 and a 3, so they're going more. They got so many ball bearings by this point. They're just underneath them, and they took them around the corner and down the stairs. They went for another
It's like
level.
a ball pit.
Yeah. At what point do they just turn around and be like,
Yeah, they're like a freaking kid wearing roller
The
skates
kid's
in an
standing up
antique
right now.
store. Just like
Because I feel bad about what just happened, but I don't want to explicitly tell you what just happened. I say, ready your weapon. We need to be ready for these guards.
oh,
And now you go, oh crap.
and I like look over. Luckily, I can just call Dragon's Toter to my hand.
And I yell, what did you do? Where's Dragon Toter?
I look over the edge and I see it just like
What's the range on your callback?
we nenever established
200
that there
feet.
was.
No, it's you're attuned to it. So
Okay, I just reach out my hand and
Yep. It appears in your hand.
it's in my hand now.
See, I knew that would happen. It's okay.
no, I was.
No,
I was
you
worried.
didn't, because both of you guys freaked out. You're just like, oh God, we're screwed.
Yeah,
Don't
I
say
definitely
anything,
thought
don't
it
say
was
anything.
gone forever.
I was gonna have to kill everybody with my dull campfire hatchet.
Okay, so guys, on the count of, or actually, I guess we wait until they actually get up here.
Yeah.
Or do we want to come to them?
I was in the middle of something kind of important, by the way.
Do we want to come to them?
Do you think you can handle this without me?
They are all the way at the bottom, but they've gotten back to their feet and they're going to start to make their way back
You
up.
haven't even heard them at the door yet, and you woke me up and dropped my sword.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I want you to apologize, Yumhorn.
I didn't do anything.
Ren,
You
Ren,
dropped
what are
your
you
own
doing
sword.
in all this.
I'd say, guys, we don't have time for this. If there are guards coming up the stairs, we need to go and handle them.
Okay.
Obviously, we
Yuri's
need to
just
come
got
back
his
later.
maul, like, he's got like the heavy end. He's standing on top of the door, and he's just like standing there.
All right. I go to push Yumhorn off the edge. I'm just kidding. I won't do that because Durac's not an idiot who doesn't do stupid things.
As he goes to push, I misty step out of the way and then kick him from the back and push him over.
As you break your computer, you just kicked it twice. I hope it breaks. Anyways,
No wonder it always needs to be repaired. You're just kicking it.
I pretend it's Duroc.
I
and
misty stepped.
So do we want
Combat
to
computer.
Yeah.
do we want to make a plan of attack for when they open
Thank
the
you.
door, or do we want to?
One guy is dragging another guy from the bottom because he once again slipped on a ball bearing.
Guys,
It seems like they should be here by now.
Yeah.
I heard
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they're not coming after me. Maybe they just needed to see the priest.
I was getting guidance from beyond, and you guys ruined that. Okay? I'm going to take it out on these guys. Yuri, move out of the way.
Ren, what do you think?
I think it could go either way. We got these guys.
You guys want me
All
to
right.
take it out on you? That's fine.
Duroc, are you so upset that you want us to handle this
I
while you
literally
meditate?
felt as though I was on the verge of a discovery.
Hey, Ren, come here and look at this real quick. Don't say anything.
Fine. Fine. Go back to your ledge.
I don't think it works that way, Yamhorn.
Go back to your ledge and meditate. We'll handle it.
Really? Now? Now you'll handle it? What if I wake up and you're choking me again?
Well, that's something you're going to have to deal with.
I'd
The
like
guards, and you guys don't know this, the guards, I've been rolling 2d20s for them. They both crit failed. So they fell. One guy broke his leg. One guy broke his arm. And they're not coming after you anymore, but you do not know that.
Okay. Regardless, I take out my rope of climbing. I fasten one end to me. I fasten one end to the edge of the thing, and I go out and meditate.
Just hanging off the edge.
Well, no, just sitting.
Oh, like a safety.
Out on the thing.
So you can't drag him away.
This time, if you freaking go to get me, and if I fall, I'm secure.
Okay.
But if I struggle and fight with you, you're not.
So Ren says to you, you don't have any concern about the guards coming up the stairs right now.
Do you guys really don't think you can handle a couple of guards through this tiny hatch?
Yuri finally speaks up and he says, Yumhorn, How many guards were there?
2 that I counted.
I want you to roll me a history check.
Maybe 3? $15.
Then you relay to Yuri. There were 2 what seemed to be human-looking guards, kind of dopey.
So what do you want to do with that information, Yuri?
Yuri goes like, "Oh, Jeremiah and Travis."
Those 2 bumbling idiots?
He's like, "I'll continue standing on the hatch, but we're likely fine."
Okay.
How well do you know these guys?
This is coming from a half-orc, by the way. He's insulting other people's intelligence.
See, that's what I'm thinking.
I know them pretty well, and I gotta say, their parents must be involved or something up in Versberg.
I think we should go down and talk to them and explain to them the situation here in this city and what Ulagan can do for them.
All right. I'm out on the
I'll
edge.
follow you and just barricade the way, basically.
Open the door and let's go down.
All right, so he steps off the hatch. Do you want to lead the way, or do you want to hop up?
My gosh.
So I'll hop up.
All right.
On top of him,
Durak-
and I'll ask Yamhorn to follow us down.
Okay.
Let's just talk to these guards.
I'm going to stay.
Right.
I'm
But I'm-
secured. I'm meditating.
Okay.
Trying to reestablish
Ren,
the
are you
chance.
okay if I keep my hammer in hand just in case?
Just put it behind your back. I think we can talk to them. It sounds like Yuri at least knows them. They might be persuadable.
Ren's on my left. I've got my hammer over my right.
Okay.
And they're likely to not mess with a half orc.
Okay.
So we start walking down, and
I pick
Durak-
up my ball bearings along the way as I
Okay.
find them.
I was wondering if I should
Whoa!
warn Yuri about the ball bearings or not.
Durak.
I will say
Ren's
this.
dead.
I will say this, that at some point you stopped doing it because like you got bored with your own idea, and they got to the point where you stopped, but they took them all with them as they did a ball bearing slide. So
Okay.
they're all at the bottom in a big pile, like, and they kind of like, you know, in front of the water fountain. Some of them spilled out like into the church, and like they're just kind of like still kind of slipping and sliding, like trying to get out because one has a broken leg, one has a broken arm.
Awesome.
And so you guys, if you'd like to warn Yuri and Ren that you did ball bearings but you haven't seen it yet, and maybe you should have at this point, then you may.
Yeah. Hey guys, by the way, I should mention that I kind of set a trap just to slow him down a little bit. If you want, I can kind of go ahead and pick up some of the traps.
Seems like a safe.
Okay. All right. Just stay close behind though, so they see Yuri and know that we've got him with us.
Okay.
And I'll reach down and just kind of pat you on the head and
Okay.
give you guidance to make sure you persuade these guys well. And remember, Ulagan.
And remember, he's in the driver. He's in his war seat.
Yeah. I say sure.
All I can
world
picture is
here.
Master Blaster. That's all I see.
I say sure. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so you guys are going down. Durak, roll me a d10.
A 7.
So it takes you 7 minutes to get back into your trance because you were really feeling it the last time.
70 hours.
And so by the time they get down to the bottom of the belfry stairs, there, you are fully back in the trance. And now roll me a 20 and add your wisdom.
Which is a negative.
I
2.
critted. Crit! Third crit of the day!
Actually, okay, so you critted? Perfect. So, when you come back to the trance, it's almost like, you know, right was Yamhorn the reason you were so mad at him? It was because you felt like you were getting somewhere. You were like, okay, I'm finally getting. And so now, it's like you very quickly get back to that place, because before, you know, let's say it took you 20, 25 minutes or whatever, and like, you know, and you were just starting to feel it, and, you know, you can feel, even though you're not aware of it, you also are aware of like, the sword and like the warmth of the sword in your hand, and like you feel like a power and you feel a connection with it, and it's pulsating and it's vibrating in your body, and you start to see images flash. You start to see, from what you could tell of the mausoleum, you start to see an image of your grandfather wielding the sword. You start to see an image of Zarvog. It's very quick. You could tell there's a battle going on. You can tell this sort of thing.
I have some Foley work for this.
You start to... I'll take care of it.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
You start to see... you start to see other images that confuse and befuddle you. They're a little bit hazier, but... Oh, I'm cutting that straight out.
Keep talking.
This is not the music that I want playing during this part.
Yeah, I imagine this is not... No.
You start to see these images in which like you're sort of confused by, and they're blurrier than other ones. And I'm going to leave you with seeing images. You guys are now down at the bottom of the stairs. Ren, Yuri, and Yamhorn. Yamhorn, you were leading the way.
Yeah.
Okay, and you see these guys kind of slipping and sliding. They've made their way almost to like the middle of the aisle or whatever, that guy's leg and that guy's arm, because they keep falling and trying to get back up. They are in bad angles.
Okay.
And they're in a lot of pain. And there's blood. There's bone.
Okay. I feel like as we're reaching down towards the bottom, I'm picking up some of the ball bearings, and I see out of the corner of my eye them as you describe them, and I oh, guys, they're right there. Yuri, why don't you go out there?
All right. Oh.
Sorry about that.
Woof. Jeremiah, Travis, what are you guys doing? And they're just like, we're trying to get away. We're in so much pain. And so he just picks him up. And as he's walking, he's kind of like sweeping with his legs. Yes, Ren?
So as he picks them up,
yeah,
I tell them, Uragan will heal you. And I want to cast the Cure Wounds on each of them.
Okay.
And say a prayer to Uragan.
Okay. I will give you advantage because you are in a church that accepts all denominations. And you're also with a pal now, a former person, so he's kind of like, oh, are we okay? So he'll kind of concentrate. He doesn't know what he's concentrating on, but he's kind of just chanting Ulgan in his head. He's just like, Ulgan.
And this is just kind of to persuade them to my side.
Yeah. So great, and I'll give you advantage. What'd you roll?
So it's a healing spell that I
okay.
cast. So it's 4 + 9, so 13 healing.
Okay.
If I can split that between
should you
them.
do a persuasion
with
too?
my advantage, I'll give you 13 to each of them.
Okay, cool. And I just want I tell them, Ulagan protects you and blesses you.
And Yuri kind of like has the back of their robes, and you see like the arm kind of like just magically go back into place.
Ew.
And the
Gross.
leg goes back magically back into place, but they don't scream out in pain because it's pain free. It just goes back to where it's supposed to be. And he's got them by the back of like their sort of their guard stuff, and he just kind of like chucks them up and spins them and grabs them by the front now, and now he's facing you two. He's like, "What do you say to my pal over here?" They're like, "Oh, thank you. I feel so much better. What can we do for you?" They say to Ren.
Yeah. Yamhorn is watching this whole scene
As you're still slowly picking up ball bearings?
and I just kind of my hammer drops and my jaw drops because I'm just kind of taking it all in, like amazed by it.
The only thing I ask from those blessed by Ulagan is to follow and perpetuate his goodness and his light on the rest of the world.
All right.
And not kill you and your friends.
I hope that's implied.
They're we're gonna walk out to the. Yuri's gonna walk out down the road into the like sort of foyer area right when you entrance. See if we can find us an Ulagan pamphlet because that's where they keep all. Because it's different religions, different Bibles, different. All that.
There's like a big
different
stack of them.
Choose your own
different
adventure.
types. Yeah, it's like in case you want to worship or whatever, it's like you can come into the church and worship and so like we go to the Ulagan section, and he drops them down and that sort of stuff, and he grabs 2 Ulagan pamphlets or whatever the deal is. He hands it to him. He's like, "Go spread the word, jerks." And then anything you'd like to do?
I just want to let them go on their way, and I feel like I've given them enough information to sustain them for the future.
Okay. And they start to run out, and Yuri calls back to him, "And keep your damn mouth shut."
Thanks, Yuri.
Assuming you guys are
Oh, Red, we can still curse, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, cool.
Yeah, no problem with that.
exclusively.
So they walk back. They walk back and they meet up with you have all your ball bearings now put away. You're just putting the last like in your little marble pouch or whatever.
Yeah.
And we cut back to Duroc. Duroc, make me an Arcana check.
Crit fail.
Then the images that you see that were confusing to you rush at you in such a way that you
It's a good thing you're tied up, buddy.
that like it just like rushes at you, like all these images hit you, and it like that feeling of like when you're falling in a dream that you wake up and like your body just like reacts or whatever. That's what you do. And you tied it around the thing and then like tied it around your waist.
Yeah.
Okay. You jolt and you fall over the side. And now you're as you're waking up, you realize you're falling.
That's the most terrifying thing ever.
Okay.
And you're 250 feet up.
So
And roll me an athletics.
I think that's like a 18.
Okay. What did you get just on the dice?
Oh, actually, it's a 22.
Okay,
I rolled a
then,
15.
Then you hold on to Drakenstoner this time as you wake up. You're just like, "Rah!" And so you're hanging there.
So since I have the rope of climbing, all I have to do is utter a command word to the rope, and it'll actually just pick me up and put me back
Gotcha.
where I was. So I just
Magic
say,
carpet ride.
yeah, I just say up, and in Dwarvish,
Yeah.
and the rope carries me back up.
Okay, so you're floating up. It's got like a little lasso, and it just like rights you and like picks you back up, pushes
Yeah.
you over.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're back up, standing up there, and you're ready to rock and roll. We cut back to Yamhorn and Ren. What are you guys doing?
I say, first of all, are we safe now?
I feel like things are going to be okay. I've converted another group of people.
You, sir, are amazing.
This is starting to work out pretty well.
Yeah.
like a whole legion of cultists.
Now, I got to ask about Duroc, though. What's going on with him? What's he doing? He was asleep when I went up there, and then he fought me when I tried to wake him up.
I just
he
think
ignored me.
he's, having a time with his sword. And sword's kind of an important thing.
That's weird. It's kind of a weird thing.
It did help summon a dragon.
Okay.
So
well,
it has some power.
So what's the story? Do we need to stay here, or are we going to go find somewhere else to stay?
Well, we've got a whole day until I think we can see where Nikki is trying to send us.
Okay.
So,
well, I feel like a church is a pretty safe place to stay. I'm not necessarily a fan, but
maybe we could find the priest and see if we can maybe stay here the night.
okay. Let's do that. I met him already.
Oh, cool.
Why don't I go and try to explain the whole situation after our first encounter? Is that cool with you?
Yeah. I'll guide you
Awesome.
to be a better speaker.
Awesome. I need it. Okay. Will you guys come along with me just so he's
Oh, we were gonna stay in here, and I was gonna go to the pulpit and look
and
around.
preach? Okay. All right. So I go to the chambers where the priest was before.
Okay.
And I knock on the door.
I already told you I didn't see anybody.
It's
He opens
me.
the door. Oh,
It's me. Thank you,
You.
sir, for helping me in my time of need.
well, of course. That's what I'm here to do.
Can I ask you something?
Huh?
What's been going on for the last 9 months?
Terrible things. Terrible things. The dragon showed up, and then the guards showed up, and now they just treat this like their own little play box and arrest people, kill them,
So
take them off to Würzburg. They're never seen again.
they've been trying to nab us, me and my friends, and I indicate to Ren and Yuri. They've been trying to nab us since we got here just earlier today. Do you know why they're after us?
Well, I don't know who you and your friends are. No.
Does the name Ren and Friends mean anything to you?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Wait, which one's Ren?
He's the little one over there at the pulpit pretending to preach a sermon.
So I'm actually like putting the silhouette of the
Uh-oh.
wolf's head
You're
like, on the
defacing.
front. No, just
Yeah.
just helping the church.
It's the little one over there.
Oh, wow, that'd be bigger. I know that they are after, and then Durok Dragonsbane. I mean, they've been looking for him as well, but
What do they want to do with him?
they want to take you guys in. You are a threat to the state. They do not want anything to do with you guys.
Okay. Sir, what's your name, first of all?
I'm just
The priest.
known as a cleric.
Okay.
Here, a priest, however you want to put me. In
Well-
my service, we do not have names. We just serve the people.
All right. Father? How about that? Or is that too
If
weird?
that is what works for you,
It
then
doesn't,
that is
but
fine.
I'll just call you that.
Okay.
Father, I have to tell you, I am with Durok. Durok is part of Ren and Friends.
Oh,
And
you got a celebrity in your midst.
indeed, we are here to actually turn things around and free people from this quote unquote police state
Oh, good
And
luck.
get-
There's
and get rid of the dragon.
hundreds and hundreds of guards.
Well,
I'm sure you guys have. You're very skilled, but
I'm not saying
if there's
it's
only
an
4 of
easy
you,
job,
I don't see how it's going to happen.
But I just feel like I need to be honest with you because I'm about to ask you a huge favor.
Oh, well, if it's within my power to grant, I might be able to help you.
Okay. Well, we were given some information that the next place we need to go
Okay.
will be shown to us by way of this bell tower of this church.
Oh,
And so what I'm asking of you is that you grant us safe stay tonight. And as soon as we hit midday tomorrow, we will thank you and we will be on our way.
What sort of information were you given about the church? I mean, the church has been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, but it was one of the original buildings built here in the town. But what information could you have been given? Because I know everything about this church.
I think it's because it's been such an anchor in this town that it's been used for this purpose, because our intent and our purpose.
Will you sit still? Meditate, Durok. Meditate.
That's really all he's been doing this entire time is meditating.
He's long-winded, but he also stood outside of the church a whole bunch last time. So,
Our intent is only for good, for the greater people, and apparently for Ren, it's to also proselytize his faith. Even after that,
It was an accident.
oh my goodness. So, I don't know if you know anything about Durok, but he's kind of the reason why the dragon's here and all this stuff went to crap.
what are you asking me specifically?
What
do you want?
I already said it. I already said it. We want safe stay. But
Okay,
but
then I asked you a question.
Which
what
is
made you think that this would be a place that would give you information to lead you to wherever it is that you need to go?
And I asked the priest to sit down, and I start regaling him of the story from the very beginning of
Okay.
meeting him on the boat. There's a
We
fade,
cut to Duroc.
There's a fade cut.
on a boat.
beginning.
We
Oh, that's right. Me on a boat.
We cut to Duroc.
And I'm
Rolling dice.
I don't think I
Annoying.
had enough from that vision. And in true Dark fashion, I'm replaying the images from my head, the dragon and my great grandfather and all of this stuff, and I just don't feel like it was enough, and I'm driven to just try again.
Okay. All right.
And I go out again, I find my focus.
Roll me a 20.
$19.
It takes you 19 minutes to get back to focus.
Okay. Fair enough.
You did just fall off of a belfry.
That's fine.
It's kind of a lot to come back from.
I agree.
Because if I woke up and I was falling, there would be definitely a split second of like, well, crap. Oh, no, wait, I've got a rope. Regardless.
No doubt.
Fade
Okay.
back to Yamahorn. He's now talking about salted fish at Paulsville.
Oh, boy.
And
Ren, what are you doing?
So this entire time, I've just been walking around the church.
Okay.
I've been putting silhouettes of the wolf skull or the wolf head.
Okay.
I feel like that's about the same amount of time as Yamhorn has been yammering on,
Okay.
and I go to see
Yamahorn. That's good.
go to see what he's talking about, and I walk in on whatever situation's there.
And then you come in and you hear me say, and Lanston just left.
Okay.
He's just gone.
So
I-
and then I say to the church, can we stay here for the night? We have reason
You
to believe
absolutely can.
we have reason to believe that there's a message for us here at noon tomorrow when the bell rings.
It's interesting. Why do you think that?
I was getting to that.
Go ahead, Yamhorn.
Okay.
By the way,
So
he's
Lanston
only
leaves.
about to episode 10 in season
Yeah.
1. I'll
So-
give you that meta information.
So Lanston leaves.
Oh, and sorry, he's at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
I thought this was like when Lanston goes on his big adventure,
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
which is like episode 10.
All right. So what do you do? Do you just stay in that hallway or whatever? Or what, Ren, what do you do?
Yeah, I walk in and I let him continue
Okay.
to explain why we're here and what we hope to find.
2 hours later.
And I
And
don't
that's
wait
why
2
we're here.
hours.
And that's why we are here, because we feel like this special note that we were given by
Yuri.
not Pickle Kiss.
Nikki?
What's Nikki's
Brower
name?
Nick.
Brower Nick.
Brower Nick
sheriff.
lead driver.
She wants us to head west, but we don't know exactly where we're going. And
By the way,
this
you
Belton-
don't say that name because Durok's up there meditating.
Okay.
So if you don't know it, then you don't know it.
Can I roll history
Yeah.
or something?
Roll for it. Beat 10.
Yeah, I'm laughing. There's no way.
11.
Okay, fine.
Then you go Brower Nick.
Yeah, yeah.
Lead driver. Oh, right. Yeah, the sheriff.
I think she's calling us to a safe place, and so
Oh, she got out. Good.
apparently, and so the only way we're gonna find where we need to go is by being here at noon when the bell rings and looking
Okay.
west. So can we stay here and you
Sure.
help us stay
Sure,
safe?
you can.
Well, that was easy. All right. See ya.
I mean,
thank you.
I already told
And
your
now the
friend that
guy-
2 hours ago.
Now the guy knows about the Whisperer and about like the
All right, so now what do Ren and Yuri's just been like? He took a seat on the front pew, is just kind of like sitting there with his legs out and like, oh, finally.
It's my church now.
So what do you two want to do?
I go over to Ren and say, he says we're cool to stay.
Did you ask him about maybe what our message could mean? Maybe he knows.
Oh crap! You're right. Let me go back.
No.
2
wait,
hours
wait.
later.
I'll go ask
I want you both to roll perception rolls.
20.
15.
Okay. I want you both to notice that on all of the walls there are very long hanging paintings, mainly to do with the town, mainly to do with the church, people inside of the church, that sort of thing. That's what I'll give you.
But it catches my eye, or
I'm only telling you what you noticed.
6
You
hours
finally
later,
notice it.
did I get anything useful?
I'm not to you yet.
All right.
You're in a pocket dimension where time has not passed yet.
I start to say, Ren, you put wolf heads everywhere. What's the deal? Were you allowed to do that?
For Ulagan, I'll do anything. But I've got some things to discuss with the priest. If you could just wait out here.
Well, I just want to ask you, did you see what you were covering up?
I noticed, but I didn't pay much attention.
I'm going to take a couple of these wolf heads down, if you don't mind. I'll put them back.
God, Yamhorn is just
But I want to look at these.
undoing all the work everybody's doing today.
No, I want to see what you actually covered up, because it seems like there might be something more about this town, and I don't know if it's as recent as the last 9 months, but it might give us a clue as to this tower.
Okay.
All right.
Yamhorn astutely says. We now cut to
And he
Duroc.
folds his arms.
All right, Duroc, hopefully past the 19 minutes.
Yep,
He's
Just
just
you've been in it for the first 2 hours. Yamhorn's just wrapping up season 1.
Okay.
Roll me an Arcana again.
Okay. All right. Looks like I rolled a 12.
Okay. You're back sort of in the same thing. You start seeing your grandpa, fighting the dragon, the same sort of images, and you start to see the other the images that were, more fuzzy, and those things, like, they come into focus for just a brief second. And as it does, for just a split second, you see an army of elves that seem to, in that split second, seem to be backing up your grandfather. And then you're out.
And I'm out of the trance.
Yep, you wake up. It's now about 4:15 in the afternoon.
Those damn dirty elves.
Well, I sheath my sword, untie the rope, put it in my bag, climb down.
Trips and falls and dies.
Unlikely.
250 feet downstairs.
Insta kill. Hey guys.
Yeah, I'm just like rolling on my side. Oh God, no!
Cannonball like.
Don't they ever end? And I go downstairs. I find you guys.
Okay, when you come out of the archway, you see directly in front of you Yuri, still like kind of kicked back a little bit, very like almost half asleep. He had a very early guard thing, and now he's a little tired from all of his adventuring and going up and down the stairs and carrying that extra 35, 40 pounds around, on his shoulder. Tuckered him out. Are you still in talking to the priest?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to ask him about
And you
this.
look to the right when you come out, and you see Yamhorn staring at a giant, one of the 6 giant murals on the wall.
Duroc, I'm glad you could join us. Maybe you can help me decipher some of this?
Decipher what?
First of all, how was your nap?
Well, Yamhorn, somebody as spiritual as you ought to know I wasn't napping.
Looked like a nap to me.
I'm sure everything looks like a nap to you.
Okay.
Yeah, chew on that one. Anyway, Ren, the one that I like more.
You're just like, Kobe.
Suck it.
AKA, you're lazy and I hate you. Ren, how was everything down here?
office, you don't see it.
I noticed that everything's wolf heads now.
I'm pointing directly at a mural. What do you make of this?
What's on the mural?
I don't know yet.
Well,
You guys are standing.
Looks
you guys
like
are standing in front of a mural that looks like a good version of this, like and once
Like
again,
the
check
map?
the Instagram and the Twitter. The map of of Bulgurum here. But it looks like the very old-timey version and very much like, something that, you would have seen, like in Washington, D.C., where it's like the original 13 colonies or like the layout of the original Washington, D.C. Capitol, that sort of thing. It's the original sort of layout. And you see just this vast expanse where, there's the docks, there's the church, and there's just sort of like little towns surrounding around the church. And this is all just sort of like what looks to be just field and that sort of stuff, like where, where the other churches are, where Blaze Blackjack's is. There's no trail that you guys came in on, which is up by Blaze Blackjack's. There is the sort of coastal trail that would have been much easier for you guys to go that was referenced a couple episodes ago. But
gonna have to listen back to that one.
Yeah. I believe it was like one of the police. It was like when you guys first got to her Browernick's son was like, "Oh, we don't normally send people down that trail. They mostly just come up the easier way." It's because Blaze didn't like Durock, so he sent him the harder way where he thought he might get robbed.
Thanks a lot, Durock.
And so you sort of see like the original town layout or whatever. Trees, foliage, it's all nice up in here. This road up into the southwest hasn't been established yet, up in the top left-hand corner.
Is there anything where the church is where we are now?
It's just surrounded by what just, little houses.
Okay.
That you assume that like, they made the town around the houses.
Are there any arrows?
No.
Are there any poor, sick, rich, and meek?
Or jokers?
No. I'll roll.
Uh-oh, you may have found something.
No. It's above a 10, so I will say that the poor, sick, rich, and meek are all welcome under this peak was to get you to a church with a belfry.
Okay. Do we notice anything about essentially everything that we've surveyed to this point?
This is just the one that you're looking at.
Right. Is there anything that seems out of place different? Like some of that stuff is just like, it's time before now.
It looks like an old map.
No, what
just
about
like
the sheriff's, where the
town.
sheriff's thing was?
That is not there yet.
Okay. Is there anything peculiar in its place?
No, it's just like sort of undone town.
Okay. Well, Durock, I think we've gotten everything we can out of this one. What do you say we look at the next one? And I go to put the wolf's head back.
How many of these are there?
There's 6.
Okay.
And I want Durock and are you still in talking to the guy?
Yeah, I want to talk to the priest.
Okay. Ren's talking to the priest, and Durock is
texting his wife.
Yep, and he's going his dead wife. He's spirit checking.
She is dead.
Yeah, dwarven cancer, and
I'm
so
sorry.
I want you guys to make a perception check.
13.
19.
Okay.
That was cool, right?
I want you to, Durock, you realize as you look around, you have another body that you could be asking for help. And then also, when you turn around to look at Yuri, the one across, so there's 3, so center, and 2 towards the pulpit, which would be what, your guys' left? Yeah, your left, looking at me. It's a picture of the church, and the way that it's set up, it's like a sunset is hitting the church, and the way that they have chosen to make the painting, when the bottom half is very dark, the top half very orangish, sunset-ish, but it looks split in half.
But I don't notice this. Dang it. Only the
Yumhorn.
dummy notices it.
Yumhorn, look at this.
Oh.
And the view of that painting is facing west.
Gaze
coming
due
from the
west while the sun divides the skies. or something like that.
What'd you do with the note?
Crumbled it up and threw it on the ground, but I did grab it on my way back down because I'm calm now.
You did not, because you did not say that.
Why don't you go run back up and get it?
Well, you guys don't believe that I grabbed it? I was being really sensible about that. Fine, I'll be right back.
2 hours later.
Yamhorn conveniently forgets that he wrote it down.
And also that there are 2 ball bearings left on the stairway. Durak.
All right, I grabbed the note.
Oh, that's right. I did
Spread it back out.
He says I scrolled it down. That's right.
And
then you come back down?
Yeah. And then as he comes down, I say, "Oh, I forgot. I had it all along, right here."
I crumple it on the ground again.
And then Yuri stands up at this point. He's like, "You guys found something?"
Look at this, Yuri. Something about the riddle. About dividing in half, blah, 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 sunset, due west. I know. You and I are fighters.
I mean, I just saw you throw the note again. I mean, I guess you could read it.
Don't worry.
You know
I
what?
know Yamhorn.
Yuri, don't worry. He has a hard time reading, so I'll read it. The poor, the sick, the rich, the meek, all are welcome under this peak, which I assume is this church.
We're here because look at you, Yamhorn. You're destitute.
That's what I just said.
You have no money.
A ring that only works halfway through the day, noon.
My ring of jumping. Just kidding.
As a jester falls laughing all the way. Now, that's the thing we haven't figured out yet.
Maybe that was Travis? Was Travis a jester?
Yeah. Gaze due west while the sun divides the skies. An arrow will point to where your next clue lies.
But our next clue lies, so how can we trust it?
I crumple up my scroll and I throw it on the ground.
Look, you know how I all feel about riddles? It's been established from episode 1.
Very flustered.
I don't know. There's something to do with this painting and how it's divided in half on the church. Does the church paint an arrow on the map or something?
Can I do an investigation on this particular painting to see if I can gain anything?
You may,
more?
but also at this time, the
70
father,
guards.
the father, as you called him,
Yeah.
and Ren are walking out, and Ren's just like, and that dude, I'm telling you, that's why Ulgon's the best, because he's just got,
You may have convinced me.
you know, and he's just like, well, I'm glad that you have found something that you believe in so much. It's rare to find somebody with your passion. And then he looks up and he goes, oh, admiring the paintings.
Yes, with the 17.
I forgot what voice I was doing for that guy, so I just gave up.
Father,
I got a 17, by the way.
priest,
Okay.
cleric, whatever you are.
And I can do more if I need to.
What's this painting with the church and the shadow and the sunset
West in this.
facing west?
As sunsets do.
What is
It's-
this?
It's a depiction of the town at sunset because of how we're nestled in the mountain. And as the sun sets in the west, you watch the shadows come in from the ocean, and you just see it overtake the whole town. It's really quite breathtaking from the bell tower.
If we're up in the bell tower, is there going to be like some sort of an arrow at sunset or some crap? Look,
I
don't answer the question. When's sunset? It's almost time. I'm going to go up there right now.
He looks at his sundial. Watch. Well, you've got about 10 minutes or so.
Crap, we got to get up those
All right, I'm
stairs
going to
real
run
fast.
back up there again.
Get up there direct.
Yumhorn checks his Fitbit. How many flights have I gotten today?
All right. Oh, that's a good
So
roll.
I'll just ask the priest,
Okay.
what is like the last place that light is visible as the sun sets?
Well, it would be the upper est wedge of the town, going into where they caved in the road to Elven country and into the tree line.
Okay, thank you.
I'm up in the belfry.
Okay.
I'm looking. Sunset's coming. My eyes are peeled.
Sunset's coming.
I'm looking
See
really
here.
hard.
in about 5 minutes. Just rolled me a D10, so about 5 minutes. Are you back out on the ledge?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Okay.
I'm standing, looking.
The other guys, you guys come up. Yuri and Ren and Yamhorn.
I want to make sure I put the wolf back like I said I would.
Somebody grab the other side.
Nobody's up there with you.
Oh. Sorry.
He says it anyway. You say it to yourself, and then you turn around and you go, "Oh, God, I thought I got here
used to being
quicker."
the leader, but clearly,
So let's see here. I'm gonna roll me. So you've got 5 minutes left. Okay.
I just want to say to the priest or the father, like,
Okay.
you got our backs, right? We'll be okay if we head up to the bell tower.
Yep.
Okay. Then I go.
So I just rolled me a D4. You get there with 1 minute left, and as you guys enter out, you already see the shadow has passed the bell tower, and the shadow has passed everything else. And with that information,
I see the arrow.
So yeah, the shadow of the
Up
bell
the
tower. That's what we're looking for.
Which is going to point east.
We all
The
just
sun
kind of
sets
had that
west.
realization.
Yeah.
Although apparently the sun sets reverse direction this time in this planet.
sun sets in the west.
And if we're looking west,
Yeah, but the sun
the shadow
sets in the
would be
west,
that
so
way.
the sun
Yeah, I know.
east.
goes out into the ocean.
Oh, so yeah, it would be the opposite
No.
direction.
You're assuming that what he said is the answer.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Well,
Guys,
you said
duh,
the sun sets
we're
in the west.
Alpha
I know what I
Centauri.
So
There's two
as you're
suns.
going over this, what would you guys like to do? Knowing that you're watching this, the it crawl over, what would you like to do?
I'd like to watch the shadow crawl
Yeah, the arrow is going to point
to the ocean.
to the ocean.
Okay. So, make a perception check.
I am now.
Yamhorn says under his breath, "Man, I hope we don't have to go on a boat again."
Okay, I'm done for the day. Clearly. What? Two crit fails. I guess life balance it. Life
All right.
Finds a way.
Yamhorn?
Life finds a way. Yamhorn just got a natty 20.
What? Bullshit.
Sorry, dude.
Ren?
17.
Okay.
+0.
Very
I'll
good.
have you know.
Very good.
On perception.
Now, as the sun sets, and what you didn't see before is that the tree line up here
Oh.
comes out, down,
Bentley had this figured out. We didn't trust him.
and you see that there is a fallen tree that is hanging out over the edge, pointing directly at a building.
I like that you click.
And with that, we end it for this week.
Oh, you son of a gun.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to Chaotic Amateurs. It's been a heck of a ride. Oh, I've been your host and DM for this session, Bentley Michaels. To my right, we have...
Caleb is Yamhorn Drill.
Rhett as Duark Dragonsbane.
Milo's Ren.
Grab your swords and keep on adventuring.
Follow us across all platforms with Chaotic Amateurs. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show on your podcast app of choice to help us climb the charts and find new adventurers. Or become a patron on Patreon to help our heroes continue their quest. Thank you for listening to Chaotic Amateurs.